when the child is born, the child is unable to speak anything at all. And this continues for a long time, for a few years, that the child is unable to speak. After some time, year and a half, 2 years have passed, now some words start getting formed, and then gradually things start becoming more clearer what the child is saying. But for that first year, first 1.5 years, there is no word that the child is able to verbalize. And at the same time, this child, this insan, and more than anybody, that insan who's still just born, has needs which are all the time needing to be addressed. And generally, as a person grows up, any need he has to speak about it. He has to speak and say that this is what my problem, this is what I'm hungry, or this is the pain I'm experiencing, whatever it is. When he will speak, then it will be attended to. And the child cannot speak anything. But yet, more than any adult, the child's every need is taken care of by those around, by the parents, by others. And that child is given more attention than the children that have already grown up to a point. What makes this child get all the attention? The child has been blessed with something despite not being able to speak. It has been blessed with the ability to cry. From the time the child is born, the first sound that is heard is a cry of the child. And throughout his whole infancy, he gets every need attended to because he is able to cry. So now the child cries, somebody will now pay attention to what's going on, and they will take care of the need of the child. They cannot understand the cry of the child, what is being said in the cry, but by attending to that cry itself, they will try and work out, okay, what's probably the issue. So the lesson in all this is that this crying has a tremendous effect. When this crying is a means of getting all the needs of dunya fulfilled, Allah Ta'ala also loves that this insan cries in front of him. And this will get all his needs of dunya and akhirat fulfilled. There's great rewards and benefits that have been mentioned in the Hadith Sharif of those tears that are shed out of the fear, out of the love of Allah Ta'ala. Rajulun zakar Allah khaliyan fafadat aynah. In the Hadith Sharif, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam speaks about those 7 categories of people who will be given the shade of the arsh on the day of Qiyamah. This is like, to understand it, not getting first class lounge, super first class treatment. This is not just being in the shade of some place, it is going to be in the highest level of ikram and the highest kind of hospitality that Allah Ta'ala will bless these people with. So now, what will be the reason for it? Among the various reasons, the categories of people, one category is this, that those who remembered Allah Ta'ala in solitude and their eyes flowed with tears out of the love of Allah Ta'ala. Another hadith, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says that Aynani la tamassuhum an-nar. 2 eyes, meaning 2 categories of people whose eyes will not be touched by the fire of Jahannam. One is that eye which spent the night guarding in the path of Allah Ta'ala. And the other eye, وَعَيْنٌ bakat min khashyatillah. That eye that cried out of the fear of Allah Ta'ala. So this is a very great blessing of Allah Ta'ala. And to the extent that a person has refrained from sin, his heart will be softer, that will bring him easier to shed tears in front of Allah Ta'ala. And if that is not happening for any reason, the Hadith Sharif has given us the prescription that if that yet is not the case, the person's heart has become hardened due to whatever, then he must still imitate the person crying. Imitate a crying person, and Allah Ta'ala will inshallah shower His mercy on that imitation also, on that appearance of a crying person. That too inshallah will bring the mercy of Allah Ta'ala. Now this is often very neglected, of turning to Allah Ta'ala in all humility, begging Allah Ta'ala's forgiveness, crying in solitude, shedding some tears out of the fear of Allah Ta'ala, whereas this has a tremendous impact on the heart, and it connects the person's heart to Allah Ta'ala. So it's something to start paying attention to, something to give more attention to, that we start learning how to spend some time in solitude, in our own private moments, but turning to Allah Ta'ala alone. And in that time, trying to shed some tears out of the love, out of the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala. Allah Ta'ala give us.
अल्लाह अल्लाह कैसा प्यारा नाम है, आशिकों का मीना और जाम है।